Well, greetings, blade fans. We are on a TwoSun run. I've been amazed at some of their latest designs from both Night Morning, which I showed you a while back, this one, with the fantastic PEI, I believe it is, brand name Ultim, but it's not Ultim. This one's really, really cool. And you might have seen that. It's a Barlock in a recent review. We're going to put that one aside. Focus on one by Wong Denxin, I believe is how it is pronounced. And it is a knife with acrylic, clear acrylic. I guess you could call them scales, but it's basically a flat inset, which is kind of cool, with an interesting full-size clip. I don't know if I want to call it full-size. It's titanium. Yep, it's titanium. If I open the knife, let's open it for you. We've got a nice sort of a Bowie look. Bowie, for those of you in the South that like Bowie. We'll do Bowie and not Bowie. Jim Bowie, Jambalaya. I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of Jim. He's a Texan hero. But I'm calling that kind of a Bowie design. Bowie. Full belly on this knife, for sure. And a full finger choil, which you seldom see. Sometimes they try to give you a finger choil, but it's not usable because you can't get your whole finger in there. On this one, they did it right, and they walked that heel back just a little bit so you don't jab your finger when you put it in that finger choil. So yeah, magnet test there, and nothing here. Screws are steel. Backspacer is titanium. And the nested liner and liner lock is steel. So enough on that point. If I didn't mention, it is the TS428 designed by Mr. Wong, and it is from N690, which you don't see that often. I've seen it a few times before in TwoSun knives. But it's good to see something besides, I mean, they've been just really doing D2 on all their new designs. I don't know if they're testing the waters, keeping the prices down with that or what, but N690 is a steel that we see a lot from European, Italian knives. Bastinelli's knives for the longest time were all out of N690 because they were made by Fox or Lion Steel or what have you. Getting back to the jimping, it's pretty effective. It doesn't look like it would be, but it's wide spaced, but those shoulders are fairly sharp. So it is definitely grippy. It's an interesting kind of jimping. Full-size knife, inch left over when I hold it thusly. And yes, we can hold it that way. Got a nice rounded ramp there for my thumb if I wish to hold it point down. Although, if you're a Pical specialist, you know, you don't have any edge on the inside. You got jabbing ability, but that's about it. Good guard, that is also the flipper. And beautiful, smooth drop shut action. Clip's not going to go all the way in your pocket, but it's going to come pretty close. And it is smooth in and out of the pocket because you've got the smooth clip with a bit of a blunt ramp there on the way in. I'm going to stick it in my pocket for just a moment. Yeah, not bad. It's not bad. Didn't demo that for you on the table, but take my word for it. In and out of the pocket, not bad for that stubby sort of a ramp that they gave us. Let's measure it up. Big knife. Ooh, 8 3/4, actually a bit more than that. Call it like a 3.8, something like that. And we got a blade exactly 4 inches to the handle. Whoa, we got a cutting edge, substantially less, 3.5 inches because of the choil. So 4-inch blade on this baby. Woo. Now let's get down to handle thickness. 0.57, that's a thicker handle. I'm not going to complain, it's a big knife. 0.13 on the blade stock, which is 3.4 millimeters. And let's see how fat it is. And we've got 4.34 ounces. Not bad. Well under that 5-ounce mark, which we all like to sort of keep our knives under 5 ounces if you're going to carry it much. And why is it so light for a large knife? Well, we're looking at it. Got all that plastic, that acrylic. Now, I don't know how well, and you can see the, I'll get back to my former thought in a moment. You see all that bridge work in there. I mean, you can definitely see the weight relieving. You're looking right at it through those clear scales. This is kind of a nice take on something like Ultim, where you can sort of see through it, but it's a little foggy. I mean, you can see the innards there in the spring and so forth. And I happen to like it. You know, it looks kind of aged, like something, you know, from the 20s or 30s and so forth. But yeah, getting back to this, because of the acrylic, we've got a very light knife, and because of all the extreme weight relieving. So well under 5 ounces for an almost 9-inch knife. My question would be how well this acrylic is going to hold up, how easily it's going to scratch and so forth. It's a little bit of a frosted finish to it, as you can see. So when I turn it that way, see, you can't see through it. Turn it that way, yes, you can see through it. Got a fuller, which is almost a nail nick, if you wanted to use it that way. And let's take a look at it next to some of Mr. Wong's other designs. How about this one? Look at this. Ridiculous knife. And he's done more in this style as well. Now this is over 9 inches. I think we are getting close to, yeah, it's like 9.5 inches. And this one is the well-known TS428 in D2. TwoSun, if you're listening, and I know this has been said many times before, why don't you start giving your knives names? I think the designers would like that. Here's another Wong design, since he tends to like Persian styles. This is a beauty. And this one is the, we don't know. I could look it up, but I'm not going to bother at the moment. This predates the time when they began putting the model number on the blade, but we'll simply say it's a nice Persian. You probably will tell me what number it is, you TwoSun collectors. But biggest, next in line, and small, even though really isn't small. That's 9 inches. So if we move Big Daddy out of the way there, we can see that this is a longer blade, although not as tall in either the blade or the handle. Interesting burlap micarta they used on this one. Brown burlap. Did a good job with it too. No voids. It's all smooth. How about comparing next to the Griptilian? Significantly larger than the Griptilian. And Rat 1. I think it's going to give the Rat 1 a run for its money. They're just about spot on, I would say. Longer blade, because we're talking almost 4 inches, or actually exactly 4 inches. And we're talking sub 4 inches with the Rat 1. If I even up the handles, it seems as though we're more efficient with the handle here than with the Rat 1, but I'm looking at about a 1/2 inch, somewhere in that vicinity. Speaking of the blade handle ratio, let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's pretty well out there. I don't think you could go much further, and it dips down enough where we actually have a handle pommel that comes up enough to protect your thumb. So no danger there of snagging your thumb or your fingers on that point, as we see sometimes, maybe more often than we should, on a number of knives. Again, the action, can I fail it? No, it breaks very clean and fairly stiff detent. Not crazy, but I mean, I can flip that all day long with no problems. There is jimping. There is a good amount of it. There's 3 little notches there, and it picks up your finger very nicely, very nicely. Now, this came from White Mountain Knives. If you're a TwoSun collector, you know you can get them either on eBay, oftentimes also on AliExpress and China Direct sort of sales places. But I go to White Mountain because he has a very good inventory of TwoSun knives. If you use my discount code OldSword, he will give you 10% off. So that's a good thing. You can't get 10% off on eBay. And on eBay, you're sort of tangled up in the mess of bidding. And, you know, you put a high bid on a knife when you go to bed at night, you wake up in the morning and you're lost. So I hate contests when it comes to buying things. That's why I don't often go for these, you know, Microtech's may be one exception where they do drops and other companies do drops. And, you know, we're dropping it on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and, you know, I've got to stop what I'm doing and compete with other people. And, you know, I like to buy things outright. And I would say 95% of the knives I have, maybe 90%, were my own purchases. This was my own purchase. And speaking of that, I think White Mountain was getting 99 bucks for this. So really not bad for a new and innovative knife. 90 bucks with a 10% discount. But as I was saying, you know, with these drops, these weekly drops and so forth, maybe it makes it exciting, but I think I shouldn't need to compete for somebody to get my money. Just my feeling. Anyway, you guys be well. Don't forget to give this video a like, and I'll be back soon. Take care.